I have not been taking care of myself. If you watched my relapse video, you would know that a big part of what I think led to that relapse was just neglecting myself, putting other people's needs before my own, not upholding my boundaries, and just overall not taking care of myself. I'm currently in recovery from an eating disorder, so I'm gaining weight and dealing with all of the stress and the poor body image that comes with that. I have anxiety that I've never really taken a deep look into. I've never really managed it before. It's just kind of something that I live with in my everyday life. I have a lot of stress and I don't know how to handle my stress very well. I've never really known how to handle stress very well. I got overwhelmed and burnt out. I have a lot on my plate in terms of being in my first job out of college, and I've just noticed an overall inability in myself to stay present. I think this has been going on for not just the past few months, but the past few years. I noticed that I just have a really hard time being in the present moment. I'm always thinking about what's next. I'm always thinking about the future. And I think it's really taken a toll on my mental state. After the relapse, I realized that if I didn't want to end up back in that place, I knew that I had to make some major changes in my life, because nothing changes if nothing changes. If I just kept going down the path that I was on and not taking care of myself, I would without a doubt end up in that dark place again. So in this video, I'm going to take you through my first week of actually taking care of myself for the first time in I don't even know how long. I consider Sunday the first day of the week. I don't know about you. So I started this week on Sunday. The first thing that I did on Sunday to really kickstart this new taking care of myself journey was I created a list of my priorities. So by doing this, when you're presented with two choices of something that you could be doing, you can think back to your priorities list and you can think, okay, what takes priority in my life? What inspired this was, for example, when I was in college and I had a big test to study for one day, but I also wanted to go to the gym. I was prioritizing the gym over sleep. I was prioritizing it over school. And that one day was kind of a wake-up call for me when I got a bad grade on a test. And I knew that if I had spent that hour and a half studying, I would have got a better grade, but instead I went to the gym. So when you're presented with two options of what to do, thinking back to your priorities can really help you figure out what's the best option for me right now. Next, I made what is called a yeah list. I promise this is not going to be a video all about lists, but I do like my lists. I learned about the yeah list from Grady, who actually learned about it in a podcast called The Mindset Mentor. But basically, it's just a list of everything that brings you complete joy and makes you want to say, yeah, and it just, when you're doing this thing, you're not thinking about anything else and it just makes you so happy. So I sat down and made one of those because Grady actually has one on his wall. I am going to make a point to try and do one thing from that list every single week, because part of taking care of yourself is doing things that you enjoy. Then on Sunday, I actually sat down and took time to research some therapists because I have been wanting to get into therapy for a long time. I know that it has been life-changing for so many people, and I hear people speak so highly of it, but I've just never really gotten into the groove of it. I've had a couple therapists in the past, but never for a long amount of time. So that's something that I knew I really needed to incorporate into this new lifestyle of mine. Finding a therapist, though, is hard work. It takes time to go through your insurance and look at all these plans and look at all these therapists. And I think that's what turns a lot of people off. But I just gave myself 1 hour on Sunday to really look and research all these therapists in my network, and I reached out to I think like 5 different ones. Just setting aside that time for yourself will really make a big difference in the long run. Then on Sunday, I already do this every Sunday, but I want to, make it a point to keep it in my routine. I clean up my space for the week because a clean space equals a clean mind. That's what I like to think. It just puts me in the best possible position to have a great week. I'm less stressed. I have less anxiety. There's just one little thing that you can clean up before your week starts. I encourage you to do that because it really helps me a lot. Lastly, on Sunday, I'm going to make it a point to rest and relax. And this is something that I'm going to make a point to do all throughout the week. I am someone who is very incapable of relaxing. I always feel like I have to be multitasking. I always feel like I have to be doing something productive. And so just sitting on the couch and watching TV is quite difficult for me, as odd as that sounds. I'm sure it is for a lot of you too. So if you find that you're having that difficulty as well, If you're a person who sticks to schedules, schedule 1 hour of your day at least to just do nothing and relax, to do something off your list, to just watch TV, to read. If you do not give your body time to rest and relax, you're gonna burn out very, very quickly. On Monday, I woke up after 8 hours of sleep. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I was averaging probably 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night, and that is not good. So I just felt so great, so refreshed on Monday morning. And then I decided to stretch because Mondays, I kind of decided I want them to be my slow mornings. Don't want to force myself to do a workout if I'm not feeling up to it. I just want to take it completely slow in the morning. So I took time to stretch it out, even if that means getting up a bit earlier so that you can have a longer morning. Just balance that out by going to bed a little earlier on Sundays. That's what I did, and I felt really refreshed. Stretching, I usually just do it in my pajamas. The thing about building better habits is you want to make them as frictionless as possible. So if stretching means you have to get out your yoga mat, put on a cute outfit, set up the video, you're going to be less inclined to do something if there's a lot of steps in between your present state and getting to that state. So if stretching means just stretching in bed in your pajamas, stretching in your pajamas, you're going to want to do that habit more if there's less friction to get there. Another big part of taking care of myself is listening to my eating cues. And this isn't just when I feel hungry and when my stomach starts gurgling. Because I've had an eating disorder, sometimes I find it hard to know when am I hungry besides that feeling. But there's actually a lot of other signs that your body is telling you you need to eat. I even put a list up right by my computer so I know that if I start feeling any one of those things, I can just quickly grab a snack and be good to go. And then I also tried meditating. I really want to get back into meditation. I've never been able to do it. I've never picked it up, but I used to use this 5-minute video when I was in college just to calm myself, and it really helped. So I found the same video, and I noticed that at work or whenever I feel overwhelmed, I tend to just go on my phone to distract myself, but that usually ends up giving me more anxiety. So this time I just took 5 minutes out of my day to do this meditation, and it made me feel so much better, so much more grounded, and I was right back into my work rather than spending like 15-20 minutes on my phone. On Tuesday, I did not get 8 hours of sleep. I had a really weird drinking dream, which is something that happens in sobriety, so I was kind of tossing and turning and just losing sleep over that, but it was okay. I got like 7 hours of sleep, so still higher than my average. I started my day with journaling. I do this every morning. I also did this on Monday, but I forgot to include it. And journaling is one of my non-negotiables. I love non-negotiables. If you don't know what a non-negotiable is, it's basically just something that you need to do every day and nothing will ever take the place of it. It's at the top of your priority list. It's non-negotiable. And journaling is that for me. If I don't start my day with journaling, the rest of the day just... And then I went for a run because I'm challenging myself to do workouts that my body actually wants to do and not just force myself to do weight training because it's what I think I have to do. I've been getting back into running, and that day my body was just really craving a run, so I went for one and I felt really great. I worked a bit more. I meditated a bit more in the middle of the day. Again, it made me feel fantastic and refocused. And then I went online and I started looking for primary care doctors, and I scheduled a doctor's appointment because I don't know if this is a common thing, but ever since I went to college, I just kind of stopped seeing a doctor and a dentist, honestly, because I was living in a new place and I didn't really just ever take the time to get one myself. But I've been noticing just various pains in my body and just neglecting them, just like I've been neglecting myself. So I took time on Tuesday to sit down and find a new primary care doctor so that I can start having regular physicals because they're so important. They help you catch things that maybe you wouldn't have caught on your own without the help of a doctor. So that's what I did. And then at 5:30 every Tuesday, I have my meetings, my sober support meetings. I'll leave a link if you want to sign up for them down below, but they are just my ultimate form of self-care. I love talking to a group of people who understands me. I love venting to them. I love getting things off my chest, and I know that the feeling is reciprocated throughout the group. So that was my ultimate form of self-care for Tuesday. On Wednesday morning, I got such a good night of sleep, a full 8 hours, I think even more, and my body was just feeling super energized from all the sleep it was getting, from all the food that I was giving it, and I decided I wanted to lift weights. I didn't feel like I had to, I actually wanted to. I used to lift weights just by myself, and it kind of got boring for me, so instead of forcing myself to do that, I've started following these videos by Sydney Cummings, and they're so energetic, they're so upbeat, they go by so fast, and they make the workout really fun. So that's what I did on Wednesday. Then I had a discovery call with Kate Noel. If you guys don't know who she is a eating disorder recovery influencer on Instagram. She has a YouTube channel, she has a podcast, and she does coaching now. And I signed up to be on her wait list a little bit ago to become a client of hers, and I got off the wait list and I was so excited. So I had a call with her and it went super well. She said a lot of her clients are in my position where, maybe they can eat whatever they want, but they're still having trouble with the body image. And that's pretty much my biggest problem is my body image. I really need to work on it. So I was so happy that the call went well. Then I went to the grocery store and I made myself some pasta. I was craving some greens, so I made broccoli and kale. That's the thing about giving yourself what you want. Your body is naturally going to crave the things that it needs. So I didn't eat greens for a couple days, and that doesn't mean that I'm just never going to eat salad again. My body was actually craving greens and craving those nutrients. So that was really cool. And then I just rested and relaxed on Wednesday night. My Tuesdays are a bit crazy just with my meetings and a couple of meetings at work. So I wanted to make sure on Wednesday that I really took time to not do anything and recharge. On Thursday, I slept really, really well. I have just noticed that I had so much energy throughout the week after sleeping well, and I knew that would happen, but it was just so exciting to actually feel it. I decided to do some yoga in my pajamas again. Like I said, make it as frictionless as possible, so I just got up, threw a pair of sweatpants on, and did some yoga. It was really simple. On Thursday night, I decided to do something off my yeah list. I went to dinner with a friend that I hadn't seen in a while, and we literally laughed and talked for like 2.5 hours, and it was so much fun. It was exactly what I needed. I also want to start incorporating more acts of self-care, and I actually got this really cool journal, a daily journal that it has a place for you to write in what you're going to do as your self-care that day. And so on Thursday, I decided I wanted to try taking a bath. I've never been a bath person, but I got a bath bomb at Whole Foods and I was like, F it, I'm gonna try and take a bath. So that's what I did. I lasted about 10 minutes. I just wasn't comfortable in the bath. It was kind of a small bath, my bathtub, so I just wasn't able to stretch out. I know that taking a bath is a stereotypical form of self-care, and so self-care doesn't have to be taking a bath or doing a face mask, but it's just any time that you're intentionally taking care of yourself and your body. It can be as simple as a shower. So I just wanted to take a bath and see if I could become a bath person. I think the answer is no, but I was happy that I tried it. On Friday, I did not sleep very well, and I noticed that this kind of trickled into the rest of my day. I was having a super poor body image day, and that's when I finally decided to email Kate and tell her that I did want to pursue coaching with her because I was kind of on the fence about it, but after that morning that I had with just super poor body image, I knew that I wanted to. So I took that step and I was super happy that I did. And then to kind of clear my head, I left my usual walking routine around my apartment and I went somewhere new to walk. And it was really nice to have the change of scenery to clear my mind in a new area. So that was super nice. The rest of Friday was just a typical Friday, working. And then I also treated myself with some cookies at the end of the day, which was a big win for me because usually in the past, when I've had a poor body image day, I've restricted and wouldn't allow myself to have that dessert. So I'm happy that I'm at a place where I can have maybe, the days that I'm not feeling so good about myself, but I still don't allow myself to restrict. I still eat what I want, and that feels really good. So to sum up this video, I just want to talk about a couple reflections that I had about the week. When I got good sleep and when I was really taking care of myself this week, I noticed that it just trickled down into every area of my life. It really showed me that prioritizing sleep and yourself can have a huge impact on the rest of your day. We talked about this in my meeting actually on that Tuesday, and someone said, if I don't take care of myself, I cannot have all the other beautiful things that I want in life. There's so much that we all want out of life, and there's so many goals that a lot of us have, but in order to achieve those goals, we have to start with ourselves. If you're lacking sleep, if you're lacking nutrients, if you aren't putting yourself first, there's no way that you're going to be able to reach the things that you want to accomplish. And that's something that I think took me until just now to get through my head, but I'm so happy it did at this point and not later down the road. So trust that every person that I've talked to kind of about this idea of taking care of themselves, they've all wished that they would have started sooner. So take that as your sign to start taking care of yourself today. Make a list of all the areas in your life that maybe you're neglecting and come up with an action plan on how you can just start putting yourself first. I believe in you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you next time.